Okay, so we all know these guys, right? And pretty much nothing has really changed since the advertising industry really started. And sure, now we have more color. Sure, now we have more women in position of powers. But really, it's the same people on the top telling us what to eat, what to dress, what to like. And I think now it's changing for the first time in many years. And that is because of the open web. And we have tools that are drastically changing that. So I use these three tools to mainly, the main thing is decentralization of creative decisions. So oh,
And that's when you'll be able to hear.
hopefully I was loud enough for that introduction. Okay, so decentralization of creative decisions. So I try to build brands that are really from the community, by the community, and I've been coming up with strategies to try to outsource the decisions of the creative from the community or the users itself. Then I use AI for image generation. There's other ways of using AI for content, but I will talk about the image generation one. And on-change metrics, which is how we can use the on-change to actually measure our efforts in marketing. So really what I do with the creative decisions decentralization idea is that when I come up with the brand ID, what I call the soul searching, this used to be done in a room full of the CEO, so the founders or the creative directors. But now I try to make the same workshop applied in the community. So I have tried many ways, but basically I formulate the right questions because, of course, these people are not used to having these conversations. So the question has to be done in a way that is easy to understand. Then spreading the word is quite hard because, of course, not everybody is used to this new idea. So I relied on the social community, the socials and the community managers a lot for that. And processing data, it's also very important. So the way that I've done this is that I first open a Miro board because I was sort of copying the same system that I used to do with the executives. It was a bit messy, and the way that I finally did it was that I did it on Change with an easy pool on social media, and I asked open questions, like 3 or 4 open questions about, in this case was for She Is Near, who would we be if we were, what kind of personality traits would we have if we were a brand? What kind of things do you want She Near to do for you, etc. And then I put all those questions, I read them, and I pull up all the most important words here and there, and I put them in clusters. And from those clusters, I sort of took out the main points. So people wanted this persona to be smart, charismatic, empathic, courageous, ambitious, inspiring, powerful, and fair. But from that, we can also have certain variations of this persona. So one of them was a person that embodies all of this, but is also have a side of femininity, hasn't lost any of the femininity. And I thought of Emily in Paris. I think that she embodied that very well. Then we also want to be another version of it is more a tech-savvy person, a degen, a nerd. And so I thought about Amy from Big Bang Theory. And then the other case was very professional as well. So I think Michelle Obama is this and way more, but she also embodies the professionalism and everything else. So from that, I developed the brand, like how is it going to look and feel. And I'm not going to go in detail into each decision because that will take me a long time. But the main point is that I put this on Change for people to vote, and we got this one. So now we have a brand that is done by, well, not done by the community, but it's based on what the community told me they want to see. And the voice and the manifesto we're going to write are all based on the things that they told us and who we are and the values and what are we going to achieve, which is near. Okay, so AI. So AI, the most beautiful thing about AI is that anything that you can imagine is possible, right? We have this amazing technology, and thanks to this, just like your mind is your own limitations. It's very cheap and easy. Don't let tell you that, oh, it's really hard, you have to know how to use prompts. No, it's really easy. Like, anyone can do it. It just takes a little bit of practice, but it's really easy and cheap and fast. Of course, very fast, because if we wanted to do a big, like, photo shoot production, that will take weeks of planning and that will take a lot of budget. So now it's really easy. So what is bad about it? That it's hard to get similar results. And that is, of course, if you're building a brand, you want to have the same feel, exactly the same characters. And it's not possible yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to figure it out. This technology is super brand new. And I'm going to show you like how I try to avoid that. Then bias is super biased and it's super sad. I'm going to tell a story. So I uploaded my picture and I told AI to make me look like a creative director because that's my role. And it made me into a man. So he put me mustache and everything. And I was like, oh my God, seriously? Like, it just can't compute that a woman is a creative director. So I had to make me a female creative director. So then it gave me the right result. So yes, it's very biased. We have to work on that, all of us. But it's just something that you have to know that happens. And it can become very genetic. Now, I see everywhere this magical like door in the middle of the forest. Like, it's really creative, but at the same time, people is making sort of like the same decisions and it's looking quite the same. So I'm going to show you how to avoid that. Okay, so this is one example of how I use it for women in Web3 change makers. And the way that by uploading a picture of the actual person, then it gives you a result that it cannot be copied. It's not genetic, right? And we got these amazing, beautiful, high production images that would have been really hard if we would have contacted the women all over the world and tell them we're going to make a shooting, a photographer is going to come. It's just really impossible. And thanks to this, it's very easy. Okay, so brand characters. I tried, for example, if you prompt it good enough, with a lot of details, you can get almost the same character, but it's not. I mean, I know that if I would have hired a 3D rendered illustrator, they would have been able to exactly make the same character with nothing and with books. But I am pretty happy with this result. It's pretty close for what we have. I mean, it's basically for free, so yeah, sure. And I'm pretty sure that in the future, you're going to be able to pimp that, and you're going to be able to change it. So this is how you do it. Okay. Other things that are really good to do, and other examples, is I use it to create STBs for NDC, so that you can give it to people, and it's very cheap to do this. And if you prompt it good enough, you can see there's the same feel to it. So I think it's a very good way. Also, like, dreams can come true. You don't have to wait for Marvel to get a bit more woke and make women or make people of color heroes, you know. And you can use these images and spread it around, and so everybody can. This is the new norm. So it's really good. Okay, on change metrics. So let's put an example, right? Let's say that this creative brand that I talked about was £1,000, obviously, or dollars. It's obviously not that, but just a round number. And so let's say 30 people responded to the questionnaire, 50 people voted for the final, and then I minted them an STB to thank them. And so that is 130 transactions right there. And if you divide it by the budget, you can say the 7.9 or 8 US dollar was the value of this brand work process. It's been really hard for marketeers to come into this space and tell that the tech people believe us. You know, brand is important because the value is not easy to transform. Well, this is the metric that I'm using to say exactly how invested the people was in this process by using transactions on chain. And so that's all that I wanted to say. If you have more questions, just hit me up. That's my Telegram, Lex Blonde. And if you want to see more work that I have done, go to nearstudio.com. See ya. I will call them.